Okay, let's get to celebrities. Now, we have 3 this week. I think they're kind of all a little different. Excuse me. The first one is an article in New York Post. Real estate expert, not celebrity, expert, says market and housing doomsday scenario. Ooh, scary. Something we haven't seen in our lifetime. Now, in my lifetime was 2008 and 2009, where housing prices went down, for the only time in history in America, I think. So in 100 years. So this expert is saying we're in a doomsday scenario that's beyond that, beyond 2008 and 2009. Well, let's go a little deeper. Who is this expert? Former Bravo star and $1 million listing agent, Kirsten Jordan. Now, what makes her an expert? What might make her a great real estate agent is a great track record. Okay. What makes her a great former star? And I want to judge her decision to leave or when she was fired, because people go through different phases, but she was good enough as an actress and as a reality person to be on a TV show. Does that make you an expert in real estate? And the $1 million listing agent, by definition, there's $1 million listings. And in her case, Kirsten's average list price, I happen to just kind of jump on her website to check, but her average list price is over $10 million. She works in the high-end New York City. In fact, I don't think she has anything. There's one below, 6.75. So those are her listings. So again, nothing wrong with being the expert in multi-million-dollar listing in Manhattan. I don't know that makes you a real estate expert. I don't know that I would consider myself a real estate expert. I'm a LA County probate real estate expert. That's much more narrow. But I don't think I should be in a national publication as a real estate expert because of the business I do. I probably close more transactions by units than she does. So what does she say? She says that this is going to happen more than we've seen any time in my lifetime. And she says that housing prices are going to drop. And that might be in New York City, where they built some magnificent but a huge number of high-end condos right on Central Park. And New York is chasing people out. They're suing people. They're allowing crime to run rampant. They're turning over hotels to immigrants. Maybe that's causing prices to drop. I don't know. I'm not in New York. I can imagine New York City is having a tough time, particularly in high-end properties. And I've seen more and more celebrities leave California and New York to move to Florida for a variety of reasons, no taxes being one of them. So I don't know. It's obvious. She might be a fine person, might be a fantastic real estate agent in the higher end properties in New York City. But I think claiming her to be a real estate expert and then put it into a national publication about the market, I think is misleading. Now, another interesting story is, if you know, I guess 1980s music, Vanilla Ice, Ice Ice Baby. Yahoo Finance, what really struck me was the title here. I made millions for doing nothing. And he built a real estate empire that's worth about $20 million. And he goes to the story that he was a successful performer and recording artist. He basically spent all the money from his recording and performances, but along the way bought some real estate. And while he ended up with no cash, he ends up with some properties. He knows they all went up in value, and he would start selling one and buying another and selling one and buying another, where today he has a portfolio worth about $20 million. This is a story that I've heard in all kinds of industries. This is why I got into real estate. When I started, my father was an attorney, and I had the chance to meet a number of his top clients, about 5 or 6 businessmen, industrialists, distributors. And the story was the same in all of them. They would all say, hey, I made really good money manufacturing electronics, distributing tools, a lumber company, but I never really made enough equity in the business to be substantial. My real money was I bought my house and paid it off over time, bought the buildings my business was in, just like McDonald's, and over time that real estate accumulated value, and that's where the real wealth was. And so that's what Vanilla Ice is saying, and he's, I think here Yahoo is making it sound like, well, he's just an idiot and he happened to make some money while he wasn't paying attention. And I think that's the power of real estate, that if you buy property and are mindful about it and just hold on to it and live within your means. He didn't have to sell the property to pay off debts. he had to sell the property to get some income going, but then he created some cash flow. And I think that's true for almost everybody I know. We can all create more income and we can all create more wealth. And that's what I'm working on every day by living within our means, taking the difference, investing in real estate. And over time, anybody can build a real estate portfolio, even vanilla ice. So I think that article, the title is misleading. It makes it seem accidental or coincidental. That's the American dream. Work hard and pay off your real estate over time, and you'll earn money. And that's the ultimate hedge against inflation. The last celebrity is really, in some ways, I'm embarrassed to call him a celebrity, in that to me, he's really a coach and an advisor that I met in person. Funny enough, I called him when he was an expired listing here in Los Angeles 15 years ago. Met him in person, taken his classes, read his books. Grant Cardone, one of the brightest people in real estate. And I think more important than that, he advocates a system that's accessible to anybody. He came from a very poor background in Louisiana. And so as a result, in his heart, he's committed, I think, to helping. And it's hard to look at something, it's hard to know, but I've met him in person. I've seen him talk to his family behind the scenes. I've really spent some time to investigate myself. I feel very confident that's his heart, is to help people. And of course, by helping them, he helps himself. That's how life in business really works. And so he is a celebrity. He had his own program, which was Undercover Billionaire. Or Undercover Millionaire. He went undercover and started from scratch and built a business and raised, I think, $1 million profit and did that. And it was a series. He's also built a huge empire of real estate investing and coaching. And so he's saying, and this is an interesting position, not to buy your house first. And to some degree, I understand it's different than when I started in real estate in 1986. We went under contract to buy our first house. We closed in early 87 because there were modest starter homes. And then we took that house and sold it a year later for a profit of $100,000. We bought it for $142 and sold for $242. It was like all the money in the world at the time. And what he's saying here is that people step up their lifestyle into their first home. Instead, should live cheaper, maybe rent a place, keep their payments lower, live within their means, invest the difference in real estate. And over time, the real estate will generate income that then you can use to buy a home. And so he takes a different approach than the standard one. I think it is certainly appropriate in our market today, where homes are so expensive that rather than buy a home in an area and up your lifestyle into a bigger house, and then you have to furnish it and all that goes with that, to live more modestly. My wife and I, when we bought our first house, we were living in the cheapest apartment in Diamond Bar, California we could find. We had no furniture other than a bedroom set and a table and chairs to have a meal at. So as an interesting twist, here's a celebrity, very successful, who's coached thousands, tens of thousands of people, if not more, across the country. Very well known, very popular on social media, saying not to buy your first home, but to live in your means, invest the difference, and use that ultimately in passive income to buy property and then pay for your lifestyle and then buy a home. A little different take. Which one's right? Well, it always gets down to what's the right strategy for you. It's not about doing what's right for Grant Cardone or Vanilla Ice or for the real estate agent from New York. By the way, we'll say, what's her name? I'm drawing a blank. Anyhow, what I will say is there's fundamentals. You have to live within your means, save the difference, invest it in the long run, and investing that money will generate income and wealth for you. And that's the goal of the American system. If I can help you get there, please reach out. I'm at Bill Gross Probate on social media. You can reply to this, comment to this, subscribe to it if you like it, share it with your friends. As always, make today your best day ever. Thanks so much.